All right, session two. Session two. Here we go. We've got our snacks. I'm gonna show you this other cute little image. This is my like brain witch situation that I also created with a cartoonist. Everything we do is to make us better at predicting. So we just focused on movement training. We're going to be doing some visual training next, but this will just be a little intro into it. I did want to give you this idea. This is the injury assessment tool that I use. It's very basic, but it is like a whole bunch of questions that you can ask a student if they are willing to share. This is of course voluntary information. And the fun thing is they won't remember because their brain does not like to remember pain. So they will suddenly say, "Oh, right." Like, after you share this form with them, I remember, having a concussion when I was a kid, or I remember breaking this bone. Whoops, I forgot. I don't even remember what side it's on. This I threw into the chat if you're interested in downloading it. You should make your own, but you've got to ask the student what the number one goal is. You might go through and do this for yourself because it's a great way to kind of visualize what's going on. And I like to have this little figure of a human body, and then I put little X's where I see bone breaks. And the information is important because if they all happen on one side of the body, you've got a coordination issue. So that might be the system that you work on. It gives us lots of clues into what to work on first. And the goal is not to address everything at once. It's to find the highest priority to the brain. When we take something that is a big priority, like vision, if you wear glasses, vision is the number one priority to the brain. So you might want to be working on your eyes. There are 6 muscles in your eyes. And we will be doing that when we look at the cranial nerves, which is next. So if you have any questions about this sheet, we're probably not going to get to gait assessment in this particular intensive, but pulse assessment is, getting one of these little oximeters and checking your pulse, blood pressure, those kinds of things. Gait is how you walk. So I can give you, some tools from, in fact, all of you are going to have access to some of the materials that I've uploaded and I'm continuing to upload to this Mighty Networks. There may be a video on gait assessment. So you can kind of add that into your arsenal and assessing how someone walks. Because Linda, as we were talking about, if you have some popping happening or you improve something in one joint, that's going to affect how you walk through the whole day. And the more repetitions you get with that better input to the brain, the more your brain is learning, ooh, I can expand the way that I breathe, the way that I, see the world. Great. So please, if you have questions about this, let me know. I'm happy to go through it for each of you. If you would like to, in fact, send me your assessment with most of what's on here. If you have specific things like gastrointestinal or head trauma, stuff like that, then I'm happy to kind of go live and talk about each one of them in the group. But that might be a fun activity to get a little bit deeper into your history. I want to demystify this as much as possible because we're not broken. This is just our body has learned to survive with whatever these things are: tattoos, car accidents, fractures, all these things. We already know why we need to reassess, so we're going to move on from that. Okay, here's the important thing about assessment. If you tested better, you do it right before performance. Okay? Or in the practice room, that's totally fine. But you can do this instantly before performance and rely on, okay, this is what my body is going to do. If you tested the same, then it's neither good or bad. It just means that you probably need more stimulus. If you test worse, this is what's going to be called a rehab drill. So this is going to be sandwiched like a compliment sandwich with a high payoff drill in between. We tell the brain, we like you, you're okay, you're testing well. Then we give it the rehab drill, the thing that made you worse. and then we sandwich it with a high payoff drill so that you continually make that skill better and the brain feels safer as you continue on. Yeah, that's how we make it better. We don't do that right before walking on stage. We don't do a rehab drill right before that. We do that in the practice room several weeks at least before you're planning to go on stage full out in a big performance. Okay? I'm just going to say this again. The speed of change is important. The speed of the nervous system is instant, but we need to reassess within the first 10 seconds to make sure that it is. Okay, the body, you got me. The body is not, oh no, I did not press record, did I? Pause for a second. Crap. No, we're recording.
Yeah,
we're good. We're good. Okay, look, good. Freaked myself out for a second. Our body is not 268 miles long. This is a bogus, fact. But the point is, the speed of the nervous system is instant change. So we need to assess it. Hey, we already did our brain break. Okay, don't freak out. This is a big slide. What I want you to do is I want you to be a 5-year-old right now. I want you to look at all of these cranial nerves and tell me what colors you see. What are the biggest ones that you see? What's this big giant blue one? It's the trigeminal nerve. So I like to call that the singer's favorite nerve because it sits on our face and it moves all the muscles of mastication. Okay, we are working, this is called the brain stem. This is where all the cranial nerves live. And so I've got this broccoli up here that makes it not scary, right? So this is super important because this is the system that keeps you safe. So if we can improve any of these nerves and we learn the neighbors, then we can, we can definitely improve neck tension, we can improve breathing, we can improve swallowing. These are very high priorities to the brain, and they make a big impact. So if you're still playing a 5-year-old, you see that big blue one with the branches, the 3 tree trunks, is the trigeminal nerve. That is basically your nerve of self-expression and mastication, so jaw movement. Okay, then look how many of these are optic. I'm just going to go to the next slide here. Optic nerve, number 2, the oculomotor nerve, trochlear, abducens, vestibulo-ocular. Those are all eyes. They take up a lot of brain space, right? I'm going to go back for a second. There are so many of these nerves dedicated to your eyeballs. That's why when I say the eyes are the number 1 input to the brain, I say, hey, that's an important skill to be working on in singing. Okay, we're going to go through each one of these, and I'm going to use my little board behind me, but this is in your workbook. It also is in your workbook with blanks, so you can learn them and you can write them down, and you can, you can definitely like learn the actual names of them, but if you need to take a note about like which one did I move my eyes what way, how did that work, then you can do that. Okay, let's get started. Anything in the chat I missed? Blue. Okay, great. Oh, hey, Geraldine, you said does septum surgery count as a break? Absolutely. Well, not a break, but it counts as a surgery.
Yeah, because they usually break the septum. So
yeah, yeah, that sounds, yeah, we could count that as a break.
It's like a both.
It's like a both, yeah. How does it work now? Do you have chronic congestion, or do things flow pretty well through the nose?
No, it helped a lot.
Great, awesome. So there are absolutely like reasons to do it and reasons to not do it. If you train your nose, you train the way that your tongue position is, and you can actually change the turbinates and the tissues in the nose. But in a lot of cases, can be really, really helpful. It is a good thing to know. Very good thing to know. FYI, I'm going to be live on Monday talking about the nose. and ways to clear it that are non-traditional. I have this
What time?
10 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, it'll be on Insta. I should probably do it on TikTok too, because that's where my video went viral. um, on clearing the nose. What? Okay. uh, I'm just gonna show it to you right now. Everybody, take your knuckles here like this, and then you're gonna kind of open up your nostrils. You're gonna blow in gently, trap the air, and then shake side to side, up and down, side to side, and breathe in. There's one way to clear the nose. The CO2 that you breathe out is a natural decongestant.
Oh,
So,
wow, that worked.
yeah. Yeah. The people on TikTok say I can smell colors now. Stupid. All right, let's get started. I'm totally gonna shoot for teaching these all 12 of these things in 20 minutes. We'll see. We'll see how we do. Okay, olfactory. That's your nose. That's what we were just talking about. Smell. So you're gonna grab your non-toxic essential oil or something that maybe has a pretty bright smell. You're going to take an assessment. What I'm going to do is ear to shoulder. I'm going to see where this lateral tilt is in the neck. If you have pain, do not move in. Yeah, I see squinting happening. So don't move into pain, just see where you are. Great. Got a little restriction on this side. Then you're going to grab your non-toxic oil or something non-toxic. It can be a beverage if you don't have anything else. Plug up one nostril, and you're going to smell and waft it around. Now, this is important. You want to visualize what this is. So I grabbed On Guard, which is a doTERRA fragrance, and it's got cinnamon, clove. I'm imagining like my feet up and a fire going and smelling a cup of cinnamony tea. If you have like lemon or orange, imagine the orchard, really visualize it. Great. Now we're gonna go to the other side, plug up. Do the same thing, visualize. Okay, compare the two. Is one stronger than the other? Yes, my left is not as pronounced. I can't really tell what the flavor is or the smell. So I'm gonna do that one again. I'm gonna plug up my right, smell my left, and improve it because this is adding more input. If you get stuck and you really can't smell it, you can kind of go from one side, pull that sense over to the other. This smells like this, brain. Great, and you've done that a few times. Reassess your body. This is way better. Cool. Caitlin, can you be a guinea pig for a sec? Okay, I'm gonna pin you real quick because you said you got some neck stuff going on, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What side is your neck restriction on?
Oh, this side.
Okay.
Sorry, my right side.
Right side. Okay. This is the only sense that is ipsilateral, same side. So everybody take your hand, put it on your frontal lobe, and then the opposite hand, just like wave it around a little bit. This movement is coming from the opposite cortex. Cool? Really cool. Now, smell is the same side of the body, same cortex, right? So you've got pain on the right side. Well, when you turn to the right, is it your left that's restricted? Yeah.
Not sure.
So do you feel the pain on the right or the left, or is it both?
I feel the pain on the right.
Okay, don't move into it. So in the right nostril, can you do a little demo for us? And
Yes.
as you're smelling, can you move?
Oh, that's wild. Try and go way further when I'm smelling.
We just demonstrated that this is an ipsilateral input. So it's the same side of the body. We improved pain. Yes. I love it. So we improved pain on the same side of the body. One of my pain science mentors, who's incredible, if nothing else is working for someone, if breathing isn't working, if all these other inputs are not working, her resort is this. It is smell. So if you're ever in pain and you like don't know what to do, try this one on the same side. Hey, stub your toe, do a little bit of this on that side. Okay, I'm so glad that worked. It can absolutely be more complicated than that, but sometimes it's simple. Okay, one.
So is this going to work for, like, say that my left hip is tight, and then I'm going to probably test better on the left side, like with hip restriction?
My answer is always going to be assess it, test
Okay.
it. Okay, because I could say a blanket yes, but your nervous system could be different. There could be something in that injury assessment that tells me something else, right? So the answer is to assess it and find out. I picked Caitlin because she was like, well, that hurts. So we tried it and it worked. If it didn't work, we would, yes, ipsilateral, same side of the body. Yeah. Okay, cool. That worked out really well.
Does that work with like migraines and stuff like that? I have some people I know that have a lot of migraines, and I'm guessing if it's on one side and do the smell set on that side,
absolutely. My answer is assess it. My answer is assess it. For migraines, I would absolutely direct you to something that's called Herb's Point. If we have time to look at more nerves on the last session, fourth session, right. We will be looking at something called Herb's Point, which lives just behind your sternomastochloid. So it's behind this thing right here in the center on the on the right side. This area is a conglomeration of nerves that can reduce tension, headaches, and migraines. That's something I've used before and other students have had success with.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you Google Herb's Point, find Anna Hartman. She teaches it really well on YouTube. Just a thing. Yeah. Great. Moving on. 2, optic nerve. This is a sensory nerve. So the olfactory nerve was a sensory nerve. I don't know if you can even see it, my chicken scratch here. My chicken scratch. Olfactory is a sensory nerve. Optic. We're moving on to eyes. Also a sensory nerve. So grab a pencil, ideally something with writing on it. And we are going to test, we can do a bunch of different things here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do peripheral vision because it's great for anxiety. Put that pencil down. You're going to grab some bunny ears. Okay. We're going to bring these behind you. We should probably assess something first. I'm going to assess singing this time. Let it go, let it go. Great. Keep your eyes focused on a target in front of you. Then you can do this with students. It's probably better, but try it on yourself for now. We're going to have moving targets here behind you. You're going to focus on a target in front of you, and you're just going to bring them forward. So if you need to see it, it's like this. Okay. Now stop when you can see them both, and then play with bringing them behind you. See if one is better in one quadrant and one is worse. My right side is way worse, I think. Yeah, I can like barely see this at all. So pick a side if you can see it less, or it feels like it's way out here and you can like hardly see it. You're going to drop the other side, and you're going to keep this bunny ear going while you have that in your periphery. And you're going to sing. Let it go, let it go. Okay, I feel way calmer. Let me do it in the right key. Let it go, let it go. Yeah, way chill, super chill. Yeah, reassess your body. If you prefer to do a physical assessment. Let me tell you about an app that's out there. It's called Octodrum. The times that I've used this on stage literally have been looking at like an exit sign or something that's glowing and in my periphery. If I'm looking up out at the balcony, I can see, you know, a little bit of light there. A lot more trunk rotation. Awesome. Great, Daniel. If you want to practice this on your own, there's an app called OKN Strips. It's the stripy one. I think it's free or it might be a few bucks. It does this. So you can put this in your peripheral vision. You can hold it there for a student or you can train yourself in the practice room. Let it go, let it go. My brain really likes that. And my motion also gets better. Great.
What was that app called again?
It's called OKN Strips. I'll put it in the chat. Oop, that's not it. OKN Strips. There it is. Yeah, and if you can also test different quadrants. So you can test up here and down here on the diagonals. You can just test down here in your periphery down here. Now, why would this be important? I mean, when you're looking out and you've got a conductor in front of you, you got to be able to see them in your periphery, right? So you're not directly looking at them every time. I mean, you can if you're an opera singer, but most of us are performance artists and we're trying to be in the moment, right? So that could be a reason. Also, say something is called too early and you got a sandbag coming down. That could be, hey, I have to step out of the way and try to make it look like it never happened. Okay.
I've never had something test so well in my life, actually, than this drill. I am like, boom,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Amazing. Okay, so this is one of your top priorities this week.
Yeah.
What you're going to keep giving input to in your brain.
I'm sure it has something like, you know, I'm sure our lizard brains need to be able to see predators over here. And
yep. It's exactly that. So
yeah.
if you are in the world and a tiger is coming to get you, your peripheral vision is what is keeping you safe. So that can decrease anxiety if you know where things are in space. Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I noticed that Daniel's using the same rotation as the test. Is it advantageous to do the same check back in with the same assessment, or do you change that up?
Yeah, if you find one that seems to be a really good assessment for your history, or you can feel that absolutely something is tight today, then I would suggest using the same one. Sometimes I like to use the forward bend, but I've got a little hamstring thing going on right now, a little pulled. I got a little excited and did some cartwheels in a recent callback that I don't usually do. And then I tried to do a jump split and that did not end well.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I've been rehabbing that a little bit. So a forward bend is actually a little scary for my brain right now. Right?
And the neck thing is really scary for mine. So
exactly.
I prefer this one.
So sometimes
whatever's scary today, like in this moment, because I was like, or is that good to choose one for each session that we work on, or is it good to whatever feels scary?
Yeah, whatever feels scary, whatever feels tighter for your body is the best test. But if you want to practice them and be able to help every student, you know, if you're a dancer and you want to be able to, or you're not a dancer and you want to be able to tell your student, okay, this might get better. I want to assess this. Balance is a thing we all need to assess. So the answer is yes for both. Assess it. I'm going to be saying that a lot. Okay. We just did optic, right? That's cranial nerve 2. Now we're gonna do oculomotor. So this one is gonna be
Sorry, can I ask a question real quick?
absolutely.
Would it, I wear glasses normally, but for today and for like when I need to look better, I wear contacts. Would it make a difference to test with or with contacts versus with glasses to see like how the input would change or how anything else would change around that? Does that even make sense? I mean, I definitely notice a difference in my singing when I'm wearing my glasses, and I often have to be like, no. And then like in my practice and rehearsal, I'll have to take my glasses off.
So my preference is that you don't wear glasses if possible, and or contacts. Okay,
That would also be ideal. Yeah.
that would be ideal. If you are unable to, you know, to make an image clear when we're doing a pencil push-up and you need your glasses, the only reason why I'm saying take off the glasses is because it can kind of mess with the brain if you have something obstructing the path, right? So this is like I'm coming in and I'm seeing the glasses instead of what's happening with the pencil. Great. So convergence divergence is also cranial nerve 2 optic. I just want to teach you that really quick because you should know it. It's a great assessment. Take something, an assessment of some sort. Do a singing one if you like. You can do something different, little head dominant singing. Then you're going to extend the arm out. You're going to focus on some text if you have it. If you don't have it, then flip around the pencil and just look at the little lead or something on top. Then you're going to try to keep this image clear, and we're going to bring this in to let your eyes converge. It's going to split into two, and then you're going to come out. Great. We're going to do that 2 more times. Relax the jaw, keep breathing. Try to keep the image as clear as possible. Blink as much as you need. And then reassess your body after 3 of those. Feels pretty good. You hear a difference, Linda? Yeah, I'm not warmed up at all, but it's a totally different.
It was a lot. It was like incredibly, so much fuller.
Thank you. It feels much more released, and it's also middle voice for me, which is I'm a high coloratura, so high stuff feels really in that spinny spot, and the middle stuff, it's a big change. It is magic. This is why my tagline is helping singers break free of limitations with the magic of neurology, because it feels like magic. It does. What was your assessment, Linda?
It was just like just a big
octave leap. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So what I want this to be practical. I want to get to all of these nerves. If we need to split them up, we will. But I also want you to be able to see this in other people. So I'm going to have y'all assess my eyeballs right now. Okay? You're going to tell me, just be a 5-year-old. That's going to be my theme. Be a 5-year-old. And tell me if one eye is moving differently than the other. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to go about here.
I can't see your left eye as clear.
There we go. I'll try this.
Okay.
You want this to be at the bridge of your nose, if I didn't say that. So a little higher, ideally.
Looks like your right eye is moving in a lot more than your left eye.
Yeah.
Quicker and happier, yeah.
Linda wins. Yep.
And every time you did it, and it looked like the left eye is kind of like trying to zero in, but the right eye is moving towards your nose.
So the motor in my right eye is working better than my left. So, and that's this side, yes? This is
Right.
working faster, working better.
Yeah.
Here's the rehab. I'm in my 30s, and I've only recently started experiencing a little more blurriness when I bring this thing close to me. So this is part of my rehab. This is part of my homework. If you start to see this with yep, Linda. If you start to see this or you feel this and film yourself doing it, here's how to rehab it. Super simple. Cover the strong eye. Cover the strong eye. We're going to come in. We're going to go over. I've got a big old ring light on one side, so that's fun. We're just going to do this a few times. Try to keep the image clear. Oh, man, I can feel like my wrist is trying to help out. Lots of things are trying to help. So this is working on tracking. This is actually partially oculomotor, our next nerve. And release. Super different, right?
That's your voice.
My shimmer back.
Now, when you're bringing that one, are you coming straight to the eye? This one instead of straight to the grid?
Ideally, your chin is not moving. You can hold on to the chin, and you come in, you come over, and then out, like in a triangle. Okay, this is also magic. This is the shit. It helps me see more clearly, and as musicians, as singers, we need to keep the image clear so that we can read sheet music and memorize our lines and things like that, especially if you're sight reading. Whoa, did you ever connect that idea that sight reading might not be good in someone because their eyes don't work? It might also be that, yes, Caitlin?
I had talked to you, my student has a lazy eye. And so for that, just doing that exercise without her glasses was really scary. Yep. As far as, because I would love to work up to that where she tries that with her lazy eye to track it. Working up to that, would you recommend the standard covering? Because she has glasses as well, yeah, on top of the lazy eye. So would you recommend without glasses covering after that and then working up to the tracking?
I would say if this is too scary for, we are going to have a whole session on eyes, y'all. So I
can be patient.
We'll get to it, but the short answer is assess it. If it's too scary, you're just going to work on gaze stabilization. And I just hold this object out here, glasses on or glasses off, and stare at a target in different positions for 10 seconds, right?
Yes.
That is what is going to be like the number one starting point. She might need to be sitting instead of standing. She might need to be on the floor. It just, we have to lower the threat to take something out because it's a very high priority system for her if she already has a lazy eye. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk more about that. We just did oculomotor, sort of. That is number 3, but that is just midline out, like so. This is sort of a medium glance area because the next couple are going to be lower. Trochlear is lower. So you can try this side 5 times tracking, and then you can try the opposite side. You might want to assess them individually, okay? If you're feeling like you want to practice these, I did cranial nerves 1 through 12 for the 12 days of Christmas on my social media. So find me on Instagram and check those out. I never did it on TikTok because I couldn't go live on TikTok and I was mad. I didn't have 1,000 followers, but now I do. So, hey. Okay, so that is sort of at this nose level right here, tracking, and you can reassess. Okay. Trochlear is next. That is going to be, oh man, did I forget which one this is? Crap. I was doing so good, y'all. Let me see which one this is. Here's the thing. This is the fun fact I like to bring up when I forget stuff, because you're going to remember 7% of this. 7%. So you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to think about it and practice it and get it in your body again. Because brain science is hard. There's a lot of brain science. Okay, we need to move our eyes inferiorly and medially, down and inside, down and inside. So we could do this here, down, and here. This is trochlear. Got it? So it's the inside portion of this. All right, so assess your body, and then we're gonna go down, out, in. This might look familiar if you're start reading A Christmas Carol really fast. Okay, reassess. Still a pretty good assessment for me. A little bit of tightness back though, so that I might have gone a little bit too far with it. So we'll want to maybe make that a little bit smaller instead of all the way out here like so, right? That might be too scary for my body. Keep breathing. I just felt my breath stop. It was like I'm focusing real hard. And if this range of motion is too much and it feels a little bit like unclear like it is for me, then come up a little bit. Make sure your head is not going down to meet the pencil, okay? Trochlear. The Christmas Carol that I did for this is I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. So a little side eye. Like you're peeking down the stairs. Okay, there's little sort of, that's what they look like on Insta, FYI. Okay, great. This is how I remember them. Trigeminal. This is number 5, y'all. This is the singer's favorite nerve. One of the singer's favorite nerves, cranial nerves. So we are gonna do this with, how do we want to do this? There's so many different ways. So the trigeminal nerve is like an octopus, but there's 3 branches that live on your face. One that controls this area, and this area. Yep. So in the series, I call it a Christmas octopus. Yep. Got to make brain science fun. Okay, so what do I do? You're going to stick your tongue on the roof of your mouth, blow into your face. I'll call this the blowfish. You're going to actively press your tongue to the roof of your mouth, then bring that air down to this area. Up, down. Then go side to side. The point is to tire it out, so it's going to get tired. Try to make this bulge as big as possible. Keep breathing through the nose. As much of the tongue as you can. And release. Oh, yes, much better. Dang, my back opened up too. Hello. All right, so that's warming up the trigeminal nerve. Cool beans? It's a good one. There's a bunch of different ways to activate it. I will be adding way more on the trigeminal nerve.
So try and get the whole tongue up onto the roof of the mouth on that, or just as much as you can?
As much as you can. I mean, do what is comfortable so it isn't too strenuous and doesn't put the focus entirely on the tongue.
My tongue doesn't know what to do. It's like, warm.
Then if that's the case, just focus on the tip of the tongue. This is the new spot for your tongue, y'all. This is the spot. It should live on the roof of your mouth. It encourages nasal breathing. The only time I would say that this might be a problem is if you have students that have a tongue tie. The frenulum is shorter. However, they can still usually do this if their mouth is closed. Yeah, and it is where, yes, question.
Also, is it space between the teeth or mouth like gently closed?
Um, mouth gently closed.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, if you sleep with your tongue on the roof of your mouth and it is also between your teeth, I'm not going to tell you that that's not working for you. But if you grind your teeth, or something like that, just assess it. See if it's the right thing. Because nasal breathing encourages, you're warming the air, you're taking toxins out, it improves allergies, all the things. Okay, so that is one way to improve the trigeminal nerve, or to wake that up. There are lots of ways, and I talk about it all the time. It's a great nerve.
I've done this blowfish with a student when they were having trouble feeling the mask, and it woke it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is absolutely the way that we feel the mask, the way we feel getting these nerves on and singing in that place. If a student doesn't know where it is in space, like the soft palate, how can you move it? You can't. So getting that sensory there is awesome. Abducens is next. This is cranial nerve 6. All right. He sees you when you're sleeping. I don't remember what I did for this one. I don't know why I'm not remembering these right now in the moment. So this is going to be the lowest quadrant. So we did median and we did a little bit lower down here. This is going to be all the way down in this region. Okay, so we'll go down here. Woo! Keep breathing and make sure that your head is not going there. Okay, let's try that out. And then we'll try the other side. Keep that image clear. My image does not want to be clear over here. Breathe. Woo! Reassess. Pretty good. Yeah, still pretty good. This region, I just need to keep improving because it keeps testing really, really well. Okay, I have a feeling there's one in here that's a little bit different. Well, I'll correct it if I need to later. Facial nerve is next. All right, we are gonna grab our tissue for this one. Oh man, I gotta at least get to the facial nerve. Okay, so you're gonna twist it around, kind of make this funny little shape right here. The trigeminal nerve and the facial nerve work together, but this is going to be primarily a sensory nerve, whereas the trigeminal nerve is both sensory and motor. So you're going to ask your brain, take an assessment, sing something, and then you'll feel the difference after. Let it go, let it go. Back to that. Now, you're going to start at your chin. You're going to go all the way back here to the ear. Does this feel like this? Does it feel exactly the same? Linda's has big eyes. One feels different than the other. You could unmute.
This is so weird. This side feels way further back and this side feels way more forward.
Okay, so you have more sensation in the front of your mouth here, and then more sensation in the back of the jaw.
My jaw tends to go side, ironically, when I sing. So it feels like, yeah, almost feels like my face is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So on that sheet, you're gonna tell me if you've had any dental work. Just tell me right now, have you had any like major root canals or?
I think I've had them on both sides though.
Great. So we want to rehab both sides. Dental work is a big deal, y'all. It's a big deal for singers. And it's like the most exciting thing. I have had one root canal on my left side. And I'll share a video in the group that we have of my mentor working on me with this root canal in his first class. And holy crap, it is a very different experience.
And that was a long time ago, or?
Yeah, it was 6 years ago.
And it's still.
Oh, yeah. I go to an audition, and if I'm feeling like I didn't have enough time to warm up or I have some anxiety, I take this little oral device which is called a Z vibe, which is magical. You should all have one.
A Z vibe.
A Z vibe. If you've ever had dental work, even if you haven't, your mind will be blown. And I vibrate right here. I vibrate where my root canal was because they removed the nerve. It was dead. I have to get sensation there.
Mind blown. Mind blown. Okay.
Uh-huh. Let it go, let it go. That's way better. Wow. I know. This stuff is exciting. All right. There's a way to improve the sensory. Now you know why I'm obsessed with vibration, right? Okay. The way to improve your dull touch is to give it more input. Go to the place that's dull. If you have a place that's dull in this branch, and add some sensation there. And then retest your singing. Okay? Make sure this feels like this. BT dubs, we are basically doing a scar or tattoo rehabilitation right now. Yes, tattoos are scars. And the ink matters. Okay, so you've done one branch now, right? Oh man, I'm going over. Okay. I'm going to finish up this nerve and then we'll finish up the others next time. So that is the bottom one. Now you can do the cheekbone area. Right under the cheekbone. Compare this to this. Does this feel like this? Are they exactly the same? Do you have TMJD? Okay. There might be some less sensation, or that sensation could be too hot. Could be very, very different. I feel almost nothing over here, which is why I'm going to just stroke. Give it some more input. Reassess. Let it go, let it go. Yep, pretty good. And we got one more branch to assess. Okay, and that is up here. So we can drag the tissue up. We go inside. Think about if this feels like this. This one's pretty even for me. Oh, I lied. Okay, my left side is way duller. So I'm gonna add a little more sensory there. I'm sorry I'm going over, friends.
No, this is great. And I noticed you closing your eyes a lot. Is that to kind of help build that 3D map a little more?
Because vision is such a high priority. If I shut that off, then I can totally, the other senses go up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now you know how to improve dull sensation on the face. You'd be surprised. Oh, puppy. You'd be surprised how helpful this is for folks that have dental work, or folks that have had injury, or, you know, Botox, things going on in their face. If you notice that a student comes in and they have no facial expression, and they're just singing, let it go, terrified, and this is just shut off, it is worth it to wake up these nerves, because then they'll feel like they have use of them, and it's their nerves of self-expression.
I have a kid. I have a kid who's performing on Monday, and she has it's that COVID mask. I have never seen the bottom half of her face. It's a poetry recitation, and the expression is a major problem for that. But I'm afraid that that's going to be terrifying to just wake those nerves up, especially before a big event. Is this too late? Maybe.
Have them do the fun blowfish.
Okay.
Have them do the motor that gets sensory and motor.
Okay.
This might be a little weird, but you all are gonna be the goofy, weird teachers now. Like but it works. It doesn't matter because it works. It's effective. That's what's important. So we just did. I promise I'm gonna finish up in the next few minutes on this nerve, and then we'll get to the next ones next week. But we just did dull sensation. Now we need to do sharp. Okay, so grab either a paper clip or grab 2 mechanical pencils, something that's a little bit sharper. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do the same thing, just do a little light stab on each branch. So does this feel like this? Keep breathing, relax the jaw. That feels pretty even. Ooh, I feel like I have to stab really hard to feel it though. Notice these things about yourself. Yeah, especially around my root canal, around here. This is pretty dull. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing on each branch. Does this feel like this? Nope, this is way duller. Whoa, I gotta add way more in here. I got some TMJD on this side in particular, some popping. All right, so I'm gonna wake that up, and then I'm gonna do the top. Yeah, this side is way duller. So I'm gonna add a little more. Reassess. You can reassess the sharpness, and you can reassess your singing. Let it go, let it go. And still really good. Yeah. Okay. Great. That is sharp and dull sensation. I'm gonna just finish this up with movement, the motory of your face. Smile really big. Check out each side. See if one side is higher than the other. See if one cheek is higher than the other. If you have students with Bell's palsy, this is the test you do. Okay, so you can figure out which side and what you need to hold. Then you're going to close your eyes fully. Whew. Okay. You can take a picture of yourself and notice, what side has more wrinkles. Sorry, friends. And you're going to frown. This one's really hard. This side's way further down than this side. So I need more sensory on this side. But dogs. Okay. Whew. Okay. Then we're going to raise the eyebrows as much as possible. You can see this side higher. Well, actually, that's hard to tell. So the point is you're going to hold this for as long as you can, and you'll probably see one eyebrow getting a little bit tired first. That's the side that's sleepy. This also seems to manifest for myself in self-tapes. So open your eyes really wide and see if there's more white in one of them than the other. Yeah, there's definitely more white on.
Should take a picture of everyone right now.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Daniel. Well, I was noticing in a self-tape that this eyelid was sort of closing a little bit. It was like way less active, and I just needed to activate that area because I was very tired that day and the light was on the wrong side. I'm doing a self-tape series in my little online group right now. And so I basically put my finger on my eyelid and I try to open with the resistance, and that creates more activity there. Yeah, so you just do small bursts at a time, less reps, or more reps, shorter time. That's the better way to make motor change. Whew! So if you want Botox, just do this. That's the moral of the story. Wake up your trigeminal nerve and your facial nerves. Okay, I've definitely gone a little too far over with our cranial nerve assessments because we had some questions and stuff, and it's important to have like practical application of this. So I'm gonna say we're just gonna focus on 1 to 7 this week, and then we'll try to finish up 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is when we're going to be using our gargling and stuff. So enjoy your orange juice or whatever you've got now. And if you feel like going through all of them and, you know, just learning each one from the Instagram videos, I'm happy to share that series. But try to look at your little homework assignment and teach the threat bucket to someone.
Learning is my favorite. I can show you how to say things in other languages, teach you idioms, or tell you about historical events.
Hey Google,
Give it a try
Hey,
by
Google.
asking me how.
turn off. It's crazy, all these devices. Listen.
Nothing's playing right now.
Okay. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Saturday. Technology. It's crazy. If you have questions, please ask them in the group as you're applying these things. Check out your little homework assignments. Do them, don't do them, ask questions. This is all for you. So practice these skills, get as good as you can at them, and then when you have questions, feel free to message me on the group. And please join if you haven't joined and introduce yourself. All right.
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, this is
Welcome.
incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, everybody.
Nice to meet y'all. See you next week.
I'll see you all next week. Bye. This is such a cutie. Let me press stop.